Hey everyone, and welcome back to Brian's Horror Movies for Life, and welcome to this 1983 horror movie review video. Um, so the movie we're going to take a look at today is one that I again watched for free on Tubi. I don't have the physical media for it, nor will I probably get it unless I can find it for really cheap. But the movie's entitled Dogs of Hell, originally titled as Rottweiler 3D, also known as Rottweiler and Rottweiler, The Dogs of Hell. So a lot of titles for this movie, but I'm just going to go with Dogs of Hell. So Dogs of Hell is a 1983 American horror film directed by Worth Keeter and produced by Earl Owensby, starring Bill Gribble, Bloodworth, and as well as Owensby. So the premise of the movie is a U.S. military-funded scientist, an animal behavior specialist before Adam Fletcher, has developed and surgically implanted a chip that controls a pack of specifically bred Rottweilers. A military colonel arrives at his facility and announces that the new weapon will be moved to be tested in the field. As the pack of dogs is being moved, the semi truck carrying them flips over and the dogs escape, because of course they do. The Rottweilers soon head into the mountains around the peaceful community of Lake Lure. As vicious dog attacks began to take out tourists and residents, the local law officer, Sheriff Hank Willis, Dr. Fellows, the local doctor, Carl Dunnigan, a local hunter, and Dr. Fletcher unite to stop the pack and save lives. There are many dog attacks and deaths as the pack goes on a rampage. So that's kind of the setup and the premise for the movie. Pretty simple. As far as the cast goes, we have Earl Owensby as Hank Willis, who is also the producer. Bill Gribble as Adam Fletcher. Robert Bloodworth as Denny Nicholas. Kathy Hasty as Kim Nichols. Ed Lillard as Doc Fellows. And Jerry Rushing as Carl Dunnigan. So yeah, that's to set up the premise and the cast for the 1983 horror film Dogs of Hell, or Rottweiler 3D, if you will. I didn't watch it in 3D. Needless to say, this was a 2D movie, so I can't speak to any of the 3D aspects of the movie. But I thought this movie was okay. It's watchable. You know, it's a low budget movie. It doesn't try to reinvent the wheel or anything. It's just something you can put on. You know, it's animal attack kind of horror movie, obviously, and you know, it's not exactly on the level of Cujo or anything. But anyway, let's just go ahead and get into it, starting with the things that I liked about the movie. And I will say that there are a lot of dog attacks, a lot of people that get attacked. Some of the dog attacks are pretty good, with a fair amount of gore and blood involved. Quite a few kills with the dogs tearing out the jugulars of people. So right around this neck area, you get a lot of blood and a lot of dog bites around here. So some of it is on screen, some of it is off screen, but that's you see the aftermath of it anyway. So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have a pack of dogs attack people, then you definitely want to see some kills on screen, and you get that here. I thought the sheriff and Dr. Fletcher's differences in how to stop the dog attacks provides a sort of interesting conflict, like human conflict going on in the movie that culminates in a confrontation between the two till the death towards the end of the movie. So on the one hand, you have um, Adam Fletcher, the scientist. He's got this I don't know, it's like a button or a beep or something that's able to turn off the whatever he developed and put inside their surgically implanted chip. He's able to turn it off basically, and then the dogs stop attacking. And he wants to subdue them that way. But of course, the sheriff, you know, he's already had a bunch of people die on his watch, and so he's all about the guns and taking the dogs out that way, the old fashioned way, if you will. So there's a real conflict there between the two, and it's probably the most interesting thing outside of some of the dog attacks in the movie, frankly. Um, and then my other pro that I couldn't really come up with anything else, but there's a mud wrestling scene at a bar, like early in the movie, which really doesn't. It really has nothing to do with the plot of the movie, other than the fact it was trying to get some young guys' butts in the seats, I think. But yeah, they got a little mud wrestling pit in this bar, restaurant, whatever it is, in this community. So some gals go in there in their skimpies and and do some mud wrestling. So there's that to check out. But yeah, no, as far as the pros go, it's pretty much what you would expect. Like I said, you got dog attacks, you got kills, you've got blood and gore. Those are kind of the good things about the movie, I would say. As far as cons go, it is a very low budget movie without really a lot of tension or suspense. I never really felt the threat of these dogs. Even though sometimes they would jump up and surprise people, I don't know. I don't think the movie does a very good job of actually building any tension or anything. And I certainly wasn't on the edge of my seat suspense wise watching the movie. The acting is very poor. It felt like they actually just went to a small town out in the middle of nowhere and asked the people to be the actors in the movie. That's kind of how it comes across. Not all of them, of course. Like the main Earl Owensby and Bill Gribble do a good job. But as far as like the townspeople and some of the tourists, they're just kind of bodies that are there. Their acting's not very good for those that have lines or any sort of emoting to do. There are some bad, cheap jump scare attempts that really fall flat. The movie ends with a fire that's the biggest threat, not the pack of dogs. That the sheriff and the townspeople have to escape this fire in order to survive. So that was kind of like, I thought this movie was about attacking dogs. What the hell? And so they're trying to escape this building that's on fire, and that's how the movie ends. That's how the ending credits come up. And then again, a number of the attack scenes or kills are off screen, or they're cutaways where a dog's just about to jump on somebody, and all of a sudden it cuts away to a different scene. I guess I won't beat them up too much, but I still have to bring it up because at least they give us some kills. But being that this is a very low budget movie, I'm sure they couldn't invest a lot of time in all the kills. And then it's kind of an absurd premise, really. At the end of the day, you think about these microchips being surgically put inside these Rottweilers, which are attack dogs. So I mean, at least they didn't do it to a bunch of golden retrievers or something. But it's a scientific experiment in the military, and I guess you just kind of have to go with it. Shut up and stop asking questions, kind of a premise, but it didn't quite work for me. It's pretty ridiculous, so I had to bring it up as a con. And the other con that I actually didn't write in my notes, but I wanted to bring up for all you dog lovers out there, if you're sensitive to seeing dogs get destroyed, there are a few scenes in this movie. They're quick. I mean, it's not like they focus on it, but there are some dogs that kind of get shot or their heads like blown off kind of thing, but you don't actually see it for a long time. Like I said, you can just tell that they're getting taken out by these shotguns by the sheriff and stuff. So just kind of a little bit of a trigger warning for diehard animal lovers or for people that might be upset by that. Like I said, I wasn't upset because they didn't focus on it. It was really quick. Like you almost couldn't even tell it was necessarily a dog, and I'm sure it wasn't. It was probably a puppet or something. But anyway, with all that being said, that's really all I've got. This is going to be a shorter review because I just don't have that much to say about this movie. I would give Dogs of Hell a 5 out of 10. I think it's worth checking out for free. You can find it on Tubi, and I think it's streaming on one other platform that escapes me. But I wouldn't go out of my way. I certainly wouldn't I wouldn't run across a road of traffic or anything to see it. But it's worth checking out if you have the time and you want to put something on. You're in the mood for like a animal on attack movie. 5 out of 10 for Dogs of Hell from 1983. Go ahead and comment down below your guys' thoughts if you've seen this movie before. What you think of it. Do you like it? Do you not? Comment down below. Please like this video. Hit the little notification bell. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It would really help me out for the future content and my channel going forward. But with all that being said, thank you for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying these 1983 horror movie reviews as part of my much larger overall 1980s horror movie series. But yeah, with that being said, thanks for watching. And as always, stay scared. Bye.